everybody. Welcome. Happy January the 8th of 2023. Have a have a wonderful Monday to you all. This is going to be a reading for Gemini. This is going to be through what's happening through this whole entire dynamic. Seems to be very processing of how everything seems to be, whenever things go a different way, that you have to let them to understand that, right? It's a focus on that ability where things can go from a different way, a different angle, but you have to you have to see it as the own direction given, There is a way and there is not a way. But you know what? You have to face your own abilities. Now, Gemini, I'm going to be talking to you and my viewers out there, whoever is being a Gemini. You have to act like if there's something that's happening through your own set of eyes. You have to look at, your emotions, your feelings, your just look at it as an atlas, which means like a whole entire world, you know? Look at it from that way. Look at that how that perspective is, that feeling, that way. um, enjoy about that because, in other words, you have to face your own way, and there is a way, and you have to know about which direction you're going to take. So, I know that I'll be doing some oracle cards, and then I'll be doing some the tarot and what's happening through that dynamic. So we're going to see that as a wonderful feeling. Remember that this is going to be a very interesting reading, and I hope that you will all enjoy this as long as it needs to. And this is what it seems to be. So, the further and more, without any question, without any interpretation of how it goes, this is how it seems to be. So, we know for a fact that we can do this as long as we need to, and that's how it seems to be. Okay? So, think about this as a step in your own direction, knowing that you can face your own abilities, understand of how it is, the ins and outs of it, and understand of how it seems to be. So remember about that, and at the end we're going to, use my playing cards as the clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades. So you know that as the spades is air signs, clubs is fire signs, the diamonds is earth signs, and hearts represents water signs. So that's how it seems to be. So we're going to look at this of where the emotions are for Gemini. So this is going to be very interesting. And we have a start off. Full moon in Gemini is embrace the flow of life. This is very interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to look at that and let's get started, shall we? All right. So this is how I'm going to interpretation it, okay? I know that things can go from a different way, and this is how it seems to be. So we're going to look at the left side, the middle side, and the right side. We're going to look at those. First off, peace. I am a being of love and release all negative energy. That's a good one for you. All right. So, peace is a very significant card. This is how it seems to be. The second one we have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Aha. Yes. Yes, that's a very interesting card. That's how it seems to be. And last one, service. I feel good when I can help others. It's the simplest way where you can have service, adversity, peace. It's called pass if you look at the P, the A, and the S, right? It's almost pass, right? So, you have to be pleasing and aiming and having a service, whatever it is. And you understand that way. So we know that we're going to look at these almost close to the end of the video. So we got those. Secondly, we have to look at these for another oracle card says for Gemini. We have open, opening to discovery. Okay, so that's the good one for you. Secondly, endless possibilities. Ah, yeah, very good, right? That's how it seems to be. And the last one, you have a higher view. Ah, this is very interesting. Yes. So you look at that in a different way, right? And this is how it's going to be. So we're going to look at this almost the end of the video. All right, so now we're going to do this as long as it needs to. So we're going to look at one card and let's see. Ah, the death card is reversed, which means, you know, right now you're doing okay, right? It's the perfect timing where you're still alive, you can do whatever you want. Now, this is how it's going to be based on. We're going to clarify that card. We're going to clarify, okay? Clarifying is the best option there is for you, Gemini. You have to look at it. So let's see. The first one is the Six of Swords reversed. So right now, you were having conflict if it was the Five of Swords here, but now you're not anymore. So you're not working right now. You're not. The Lover's card, is that right? Okay, so basically you're in love. Gemini, it's the perfect well-being that this is very interesting of how it goes. But we don't know why you're not working right now or there's something wrong with that picture. But we're going to look back to it. Let's clarify the Six of Swords. The Empress is upright. Okay, so this could be a girl setting for you if you're a Gemini, if you're a lady, or if you're a man in that situation. But if you're in love, you're basically in love, that's perfectly fine. You are basically having the Empress card, it's very significant on that goes. It's the way of how you can believe that and understand that perfectly well. Okay, so we know how that is. So we're going to look at that card there and this card here. This one is the Hierophant. Okay, so it seems that you're going to do whatever you want to do. You're going to have your own way of how you can do this as long as you need to. This one over here, the Tower upright, which means that you're having chaos. You don't know which direction you're going to take. You don't know what you're going to do. And this is how it seems to be, right? This is a unpleasing story to tell. This is what the cards are saying, and this is how it kind of goes right now. So we don't know right now. We don't know what's happening. Um, what's the opposite of the Lover's card? The Temperance. Ah, okay. So basically, that represents another lady. So this could be a lady situation because if you're in love with the Lover's card, right? This is how it seems to be. Okay, so we're kind of understanding how this reading is going so far. Hmm. So we know that there's something odd in this situation. Okay, let's see. This one is the Nine of Fire is don't give up, protect that which you have created. Have courage and believe in yourself. Okay, so this represents Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, if it's in your birth chart, look at that. So you look at that situation of how that goes. Now you think, okay, well, everything seems to be fine and peaceful. But in that regards, you can understand of how it seems to be in that direction, right? Look at things from a different angle, look at things from a different perspective, There's always a wonderful feeling, there is, but you just have to find it. It's a way of how I can say this in my own words. You have to look at it as a grand opening. Only you're waiting until everything seems to be open. This is how it seems to be right now, because whether you are deciding about what's happening, if you have courage, if you can do whatever you want to do, this is how it seems to be. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, no, but this is what the cards are saying to me, because whether if you're having service, if you have adversity, if you're having peace, the oracle cards that I showed you earlier, you know, it's the same of how that is, right? You have to believe that you can do this as long as you need to. You just have to think and say, okay, I got this. I know what I'm going to do, and this is how it seems to be, you know? This is how it goes. So anyway, this is how it seems to be right now. Now, we're going to clarify. We're going to clarify the Hierophant and the Tower, these two cards. We're going to clarify. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles is up, right? So that card represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Um, you just came back from your work, and you have all these packages, like you have all these presents, or something like that. You have that, okay? This one over here, the Four of Swords. So right now you are resting because you had chaos in your life right now. It could be maybe during last week, maybe you're not happy. But in other words, you can try to think about how this is going to be almost like close to an ending, but it's not really. You have to think for yourself. You have to believe that in order to achieve that. It's the way of how you can do that. What's the bottom of here? The Temperance is up, right? Okay, so this is interesting. We have a Temperance card over here. We have a Temperance here. This is very interesting. Okay. All right. So this is very kind of oddly, but this is kind of interesting. Okay. So you don't know which direction you're going to think, because when you look at the Temperance card, it's like you don't know which leap you're going to go, right? So you're just waiting for that pounce, whatever it is. Okay, so tell me what's the opposite of Temperance card? The Four of Pentacles. Is that right? Yeah, so this still represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in your birth chart, Gemini, but this is how it seems to be. And the Four of Swords represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this could represent you, maybe, but it seems to be how perfectly this sounds. You have to remember that this is very significant on how it seems to be, right? It's a way of how you can understand the feeling, understand where you're coming from. Um, it's the way of how you can do that. So while I already shuffle these cards, I'm going to clarify. What's the opposite of the Nine of Fire? Okay, so let's see. This one is the devil that's in play, which means you have violence, and it's not good right now, Gemini. Now you have to picture it in your own mind where you can do that as long as you need to, and this is how it's kind of forming in your own perspective. So it's the simplest ways that you can do that as long as you need to. Um, because in other words, you have to face your own abilities. Now, like I say, um, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what's happening through the readings, right? And whenever I do these readings, I kind of impose myself that I'm very good at this. I'm telling every viewer out there who's, if it's being a Gemini or whoever it is, you have to face your own fears. You have to face your own abilities. You have to know exactly which direction you're going to take, left or right. You know, you have to face that, because In other words, you can try to believe that only you can do whatever you want to do. Okay? But we're almost done this reading so far. We're almost done. So we're going to look at the Empress card and the Temperance card. So this is very interesting. So I did say Empress is upright. Now Empress is reversed. Ha ha ha. That's funny. And this one over here, the Two of Swords is upright. Yeah, didn't I say that? You don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. Okay? So this could represent Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in your birth chart. Now the Empress that was upright, the Empress is reversed. Now, this is very interesting for that card. Now, basically how that goes, uh, let's see. This is how it seems to be. Okay, so this is how it is. What's the opposite of the Empress card for Gemini? The Two of Wands is upright. Yeah, so this represents Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So we have basically air signs in this picture. You know, you don't know which direction you're going to take of the Two of Wands because you don't know if you're going to be left or right. That's how it seems to be, you know. But you have to focus on that. So now we know that, okay, so we got a clear picture. So there is a very temptation of what's happening. You have to know that you can find it. Now, while we're going to back with the oracle cards here, this is how it seems to be for that one. So we know we have peace, we have adversity, we have service. So we always have all these oracle cards and you think, okay, what's happening? So basically, this is how I'm going to do this. So we're going to look at this and what's going on here. And then while we're done with this reading, I'll be doing the playing cards who's following you. And then we're going to be ending this. Okay? So this is how it is. Alright, here we go. Here we go for you, Gemini. We have the Empress, Archangel Gabriel is lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. Wow, you keep getting Empress all the time. This is very interesting. Secondly, you have the Three of Earth is the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. So you have to do that in your own way, but that represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Third one, you have the Page of Fire is outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. So this could represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Next one, you have Nine of Water. Your wish comes true. Concerns fade away. You love life. So this could represent Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Next one, you have the Five of Fire. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. So that represents Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And last but not least, is the Ten of Air. The end of the difficult situation, embrace the change, and expect things to get better now. Recovering from addiction. Yeah. See, this is how it seems to be, and that represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So, before I let you all go, before I let this reading to be done with, I'm going to tell you something, Gemini, if you are going to pay attention to this reading. You have to pay attention whether you can do this as long as you need to. There is almost like a backstory where you can think like, okay, well, I want to do exactly what I want to do. But if you're in a difficult situation, if you have bothersome details, if you have conflict with others, it's all negative, right? You have to think about positive as much as you need to, and this is how it needs to be. Because, in other words, you need to face your own abilities where you can get yourself in tune with other people, if it is that. But if you can't get along, or if you have a recovering from addiction, if it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, whatever it is, you have to believe that you can just back off and wait until it's time, right? Time to do something else and then go back to it. This is how it seems to be. So this is how it is, Gemini, because it does represent you, you know, and it does. Because in other words, Gemini, you have to get this true in your own situation. And if you have fire signs in your chart, if you have earth signs in your chart, if you have water signs in your chart, you know how that is. You just have to believe in that, right? Because seeing is believing, believing is seeing. That's all you have to do, right? And you have to believe on how it is, right? So let's see about who's following you, Gemini. And we have two of spades represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Secondly, seven of spades represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Last one, Jack of diamonds represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So basically, what I'm saying is that that's how it seems to be. Um, this is a very interesting way of how it goes. It's a process. It's the way of how you can feel, the way how you act, and you have to look at this as your own way. I'm just telling you how it is, and believe me, this is how it seems to be. So I know that this is going to be a welcoming video. I know that you probably all like this, but this is how it seems to be, and knowing what's going on, this is how it is. So this is how it is, and this is how it's going to be, and yeah. So remember, give this video a like, give this video a comment if you want, and this is how it is. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Bye.